Hi, this is Martin from Martin's Engine Services. Got an oil filter here which I've just removed from one of my own vehicles. It's from a 2004 Ford Fusion 1.6 petrol. It's been on the vehicle a year and it's done about 3,000 miles. Now, important to note here, I hardly ever use this vehicle in sort of wintry conditions when it's short on the road, and it does spend most of its life in the garage. It's basically a run around I use. And today I've been carrying out a pre-MOT inspection and a service. Now, while I was looking at the oil filter on the vehicle, I noticed some rather curious blistering of the paint or coating on the end of the filter. Ignore the ropey patch I've scraped off, I'll come to that in a moment. But if you can see under here, there's sort of rough texture and there's some lumpiness to it. I don't really sharp that well, just about catch it there. It's not broken through at all, the coating, but it's quite crunchy to the touch. So I thought, this is somewhat interesting. So I've removed it. I scraped some of the paint off to find this somewhat extensive corrosion that's built up. Particularly in this area here, we can see the darker texture to the metal. And there's a line actually sort of along here where the metal has gone actually very, very thin. And when I've been actually just poking it gently with the probe here, it's actually started to bend in and deform. Bearing in mind it's only sitting on a plastic oil drain tray, so you can't put any real pressure on it. But I actually think, given enough, well, not much effort required, I think it'd be quite possible to actually put a hole in it. That's not actually a hole there, that's the oil. It's doing the same all around the sides as well. You can actually see the where I've been scraping it a little bit and exposing it, and there is some big old sort of black pits of rust forming in the steel. And so the coating itself is very, very thick and quite robust and still quite a bit of scraping off, and has not broken at all. It's actually perfect, but clearly the steel has corroded underneath it rather badly. As you can see, it's obviously a genuine Ford filter. Can't remember what this cost, but I guess retail they're probably about a tenner now, £11, something like that. And yes, all filters do go rusty. Most of the time, in my experience, just been caused by a stone chip or other damage, and it can happen to some of the cheaper brand filters where they don't have a lot of paint on them. So, however, being this is a genuine filter, and you hope be of some reasonable quality, and the steel itself does actually appear to be rather thick in the areas that are fine. But say this area here is very, very poor. Fortunately, I do carry out reasonably regular inspections on my vehicles. However, I mean, if you had a low mileage vehicle, low usage vehicle, where you didn't change the filter maybe a couple of years, there is potential for it to actually corrode through and pump all your oil out and cause you an engine, cause a total engine failure. I was somewhat horrified to find this, then thinking to myself, so given this vehicle does live in quite favourable conditions compared to a lot of other vehicles that are in daily use, the accelerated amount of corrosion there is quite concerning. So basically speaking, hidden under your bonnet could be a potential sort of £10 item that would probably cost you thousands of pounds to replace your engine all right off your car. I know they're probably made from recycled steel and they're made as cheap as possible, being a disposable item. It's not something you expect to last in your car for many, many years, but you would hope that after a year of service, particularly in favourable conditions, it hadn't started to corrode away to the point where it could give up. I'm just catching the camera here, how actually deep the corrosion is, and so there's quite a sizable dent formed in there. I've just been pushing on it. I know not everybody's going to start diving under their bonnet and inspecting their oil filters, but it's an item worth noting, and I'll certainly keep an eye out for this on other ones. As I said, I understand that they will corrode through where they've been chipped or paint's been broken off during fitment, but given the thickness of this factory coating, which is, say, quite substantial, you would hope it would actually have protected it. I'm certainly pleased this is no longer attached to my vehicle, as I certainly don't want to be replacing the engine in my ever trusty runabout. Still, I hope you found this short video quite interesting on the potential horrors lurking under the bonnet of your car. And please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.